Hello mamas, it is Aimee Esther here. I am so excited to share with you my top 10 tips for my chronic illness mamas. So if you are brand new here, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. I got some super fun videos coming up for you. I make lifestyle and mommy videos with chronic illness. So if that interests you and you enjoy this video, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything that is coming up soon. And if you have been here before, welcome back. I'm so glad to have you. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and leave me a comment if you have any other tips that I have not shared with you today. My top 10 tips for chronic illness mamas. Alright, my very first tip is to make sure you take care of yourself first. Because if you cannot take care of yourself, how are you supposed to take care of a child or children or spouses or whoever you have to take care of? So make sure you treat yourself for whatever chronic illness you have a good treatment plan, and that you are taking care of yourself and you're getting the rest you need, you are getting the right food for your body, and you are taking care of all the things that you need to, so that you feel as healthy as possible, so that when your little baby or your little child needs you, you are there and ready for them with as much energy as possible. My second tip is to make sleep a priority. It needs to be one of the number one things that you make sure you get in your day. So I have a 7-month-old and sleep is so hard. It has been a long 7 months of lots of sleepless nights, lots of waking up in the night with my daughter, and it is not easy at all, especially those first few months when your baby is tiny and they are not sleeping at all. But if I made sleeping my priority at that time, it didn't necessarily mean that I slept through the night or that I let my baby cry. I did sleep train my baby as she got older, but when she was a newborn, I just made sure that my husband was aware of my sleep needs, and we would trade off helping her, because sleep for me was such a big deal. It doesn't affect him quite as much. It does, of course, affect him. It affects everyone, but he does a lot better on less sleep than I do. So we found a system that worked for us, where we helped me get enough sleep as well as let me nurse my baby and be there for her while waking up so many times at night. So this is something that you need to figure out on your own, especially those first few months, because it is really tough. There is a sleep class that I didn't take, and I really wish I would have. I didn't find it till later, but it is Taking Care of Babies. So look her up, and I'll link her in my description. She's not sponsoring this at all, but I follow her on Instagram and she has lots of good tips, and I know a few people who've taken her newborn class and they said it helped so much. So taking a sleep class, I had a sleep trainer for when my daughter got older, and that helped a lot to have someone who is a professional sleep expert helping me, because sleep is seriously the most important thing. And I know for sure my next baby, I've learned things that will help me get her to sleep, or him, get him to sleep earlier on than my daughter did, and I will definitely be taking that sleep class I talked about. So I will try to do a video just on sleep, because it is so important with those tiny babies. But especially as your kids get older, make sure you know that mommy or daddy or both just need their sleep, that at this time mom goes to bed and she wakes up at this time. So that helps a lot. So my third tip is to wake up before your kids. What? I just told you that sleep was the most important thing. How could I say wake up before your kids? Well, let me tell you, I used to sleep in. When I got really sick, I was sleeping in all the time. I was sleeping so much. And then when I had my daughter, and those first few months were so rough. First few months, sleep as much as you can. But once your daughter or son starts sleeping a little bit more, just waking up once or twice a night, I would recommend waking up an hour or at least a half hour before they do, because it gives you time to relax. I personally am the sickest in the morning. That's when my POTS flares the most, and I'm so fatigued and tired. So when I have to roll out of bed and immediately go get my daughter and feed her and play with her, it is really tough on me. So even if I had a bad night's sleep, I have found that waking up before her, not snoozing that alarm, but waking up at the same time every day makes me feel so much better. I'm less groggy, I have time to rest and relax, and to read and to just give myself some time to focus on spiritual things as well as just my mental health. And I'm telling you, just try it for a week. It will change your life. Okay, number 4 is to change activities as often as possible. I have found that I do well when I stand for a little bit and then I sit for a little bit and then we go on a walk for a little bit and then we play on the ground. And just changing activities as often as possible helps not only you, but it helps your child as well, because at least with my daughter, she gets bored so quickly, and she's kind of the one who initiated this changing activities, but I found that it helps me as well. Okay, tip number 5 kind of goes along with 4, and it is living by the block system. If you have never heard what the block system is, I will make a video in the future, but for now, you can go find other YouTube videos about it, and I will just give you kind of a general idea of what it is. So the block system is when I separate my day into blocks. So, for example, my first block of the day is my first hour when I wake up before my daughter. It is my time to read scriptures. I read from the Book of Mormon and the Bible, and I write in my journal, and it's just my resting time, my spiritual time, and it's just my time to get ready for the day. Then my daughter wakes up, and say from 7:30 to 9:30, we play, we just spend mommy-daughter time together. That's kind of our morning mommy-daughter time. Then she goes down for her first nap. During her nap time, which is typically between an hour to 2 hours, I have dubbed that my hobby time. So I will work on my YouTube video. Maybe I will clean or organize something. But that is the time that I spend just for myself, doing something that I enjoy. If I'm feeling really sick, I can still totally do something I enjoy. I could still plan some YouTube videos. I could clean something on the floor where I don't have to stand and move around. There's so many things I could do, but that is hobby time. Once she wakes up, and before her second nap of the day, that block is our friend time. So we might go call one of my friends and get together and have a little play date. We also use that time if we do errands, so we won't go to the grocery store or anything like that. So it's kind of our friend slash errands time. And the next block is when she goes down for her nap, and that is my get ready for my husband to come home from work time. So I will clean up whatever needs to be cleaned up. I will start making dinner if I need to start that early. And then if I have extra time, I just continue with hobby time, and I'll work on YouTube or I'll do another hobby that I have. Once she wakes up, my husband is typically home from work, and that is our family time. So we have dinner, maybe we just chat as a family, we do whatever we want as a family, and we are a family of 3 right now, eventually hopefully more, but that is our family block. And then we have getting ready for bed, which is about an hour. And then once my daughter goes to bed, my husband and I do 7 to 9 o'clock every night is our alone time. I typically go and exercise, so I will go to the gym and then come home and shower, while my husband will do his hobby time, and he'll do whatever hobby he is feeling. He's writing a book, he likes to play video games, whatever he wants to do, he gets to do during that 2 hours, and I go to the gym and my daughter sleeps. That last hour of the day from 9 to 10 is husband and wife time, so that's our time to wind down together and just to spend time with just the 2 of us. So that is kind of how our block system works, but you can do it any way you want. You could have 5 hours as your blocks. Mine are only an hour or 2. But the nice thing is with chronic illness is using that block system, I still am able to get things done even when I don't feel good. So for example, during the day, if I don't feel like cleaning, if I'm feeling exhausted, I just know that my block while my daughter takes her second nap is when I will clean. And if all I do is just wipe down the counters and make the bed and make it look a little bit nicer, I just use a little bit of energy, but I just know that that time is my cleaning time, and I don't have to worry about cleaning the rest of the day. So it really helps, and it just helps me to break up my day, to change activities often. I really am enjoying this block system. That was a lot about the block system, but let's move along. Number 6 is to write down 3 things every single day that you are grateful for. So this is important for everyone, but if you have a chronic illness, it is so easy to complain and say, oh, I don't feel good, oh, I'm achy, oh, my stomach hurts, oh, my head hurts, and complain. It is so easy to complain. And I went through a phase where I was just complaining all the time, but I have since looked on the bright side and seen even things to be grateful for with my chronic illness. Honestly, I am grateful I have all the chronic illnesses I have because they have taught me so much and they've humbled me a lot. So each day I try to think of at least 3 things that I am grateful for, and I don't always write them down. I know some people are really diligent about writing them down. Sometimes I just think about it, but thinking about at least 3 things you are grateful for every single day is so important. And I have found that when I am religious, and so when I pray, I always make sure that I say at least 3 things that I'm grateful for before I ask anything of my Father in heaven. And that helps me so much to just feel gratitude and be humble about the trials that I've been given, but to be grateful for them and to continue to be happy even when things are not going exactly as planned. Number 7 is to make sure you eat well, whether that is a specific diet that you need for your chronic illness, or it is just to eat generally healthy, because if you have a chronic illness, especially taking care of your body is so huge. This goes along with taking care of yourself first, but also taking care of your kids, because not only does eating healthy help you, but it helps your kids. So I have decided that I just want my daughter to grow up eating healthy foods, and she can decide later on in life whether she wants to go a different route and eat more processed foods or whatever she decides. But if I teach her from the beginning by example and by this is just how we eat in our family, we eat lots of vegetables, we eat lots of lean protein, then I think that will help her in the long run through the rest of her life, because she's used to eating those healthy foods. And it helps me by challenging myself to make my food healthy for her. That helps me eat even healthier because I want to be a good example for her. So number 8 is to make sure you get exercise every single day. And I would challenge you to try to get at least 30 minutes a day, whether that's going on a short walk, just doing some squats in your living room, whatever it is. Make sure you exercise every single day. It brings so much more energy into your life. I know for me there are times where I'm like, oh, I'm so fatigued, oh, I'm in so much pain, I don't want to exercise today. But every time I just push through that mental block and I go exercise anyways, I always feel better. Very rarely does it make me feel worse, and when it does, mentally I still feel better, even if my body for some reason does feel worse that day. So exercising is so important, whether you have a chronic illness or not, but making sure that you keep your body moving throughout the day and getting one specific, at least half hour of dedicated workout time is really important if you can do that. Number 9 is so important for every single woman on this planet, and that is to get off social media. It is so destructive to your mental health, and for me, if my mental health is suffering, my physical health starts to suffer as well. So seriously, get off social media. If that means deleting your account, great. If that just means taking a certain amount of time during your day, say I only get on social media from 8 to 9 a.m. and the rest of the day I don't get on. Or maybe you have a different system that works for you, but we compare ourselves, especially as women, so much when we are on social media. It is so easy to look at someone else's perfect life on social media, which, by the way, is not actually perfect. They only show you the good things about life. I try really hard on my Instagram to show the good and the bad and the in-between, and of course I'm not perfect, and of course it's so much easier to want to post the prettiest picture of yourself and to post when you had a good day and not when you had a bad day. But regardless, most people post the happy, wonderful times of their life, and you don't see the pain that they are also suffering. So maybe you have a chronic illness, maybe you have POTS like me and you suffer from chronic fatigue and you have constant stomach aches and you have constant headaches and your muscles ache and whatever else is going on, and then you get on social media and you see a friend who's traveling the world and you see that Instagram famous lady who has perfect makeup and her kids are acting perfectly and they're eating super healthy meals all the time and you just can't seem to stay on your diet. It is so destructive and it's not real life. It's just not real life. And especially if you have a chronic illness and you feel that physical pain and then you see someone else doing things you wish you could do, it is going to just hurt you. It will not help you at all. So let me tell you what I do to rid myself of this social media filled world. So once a month, the very first week of every month, I have decided I'm doing a social media fast, and I've done it for 5 or 6 months now, and it is so helpful. So I decided that the first week of every month I do not scroll through anything on social media. If for some reason I want to post a picture on my health account to maybe promote a YouTube video or something, I will get on and I'll post that picture, but I won't scroll through anything. And I do that the first week of every month. And then it really helps me because the next week I am not used to just hopping on my phone all the time. And then a couple weeks go by and I get more and more used to grabbing my phone, scrolling through social media right away. And by the time I am in that state where I'm kind of used to grabbing my phone so much, then it's time to do a social media fast again. It's the first of the next month. I am currently in my social media fast. It is a Saturday as I am posting this video, so technically tomorrow I can get back on and scroll through, but I really have no desire to. The other thing that I did is I deleted anyone who has ever made me feel bad about my life. So I deleted all those famous Instagrammers who post perfect pictures all the time and their kids are perfect and they don't gain any weight when they're pregnant and whatever. I don't follow them. I personally don't even like following like fitness accounts. They don't motivate me, they just make me feel like crap. And I try really hard to keep my Instagram both uplifting as well as showing the negative things of life. I try not to always make it positive. I try to share when I have a bad day as well as when I have a good day, and I don't post very often, honestly. So if you follow me, don't expect, I'm one of those people who posts every day. I'll post, I go through phases. Sometimes it's once a month, sometimes it's once a week, but anyways, if you want to follow me, feel free. But if you are trying to rid yourself of that Instagram, please make sure you unsubscribe anyone who makes you feel like crap. Okay, great. Alright, we are down to the last tip I have for you today, which is number 10, and that is to have a support system. So that may mean you have your spouse or your partner who is there helping you. They know what you're going through, and they can tell when you're starting to get a flare-up, or they know what to do when you're flaring up, whatever it is. It also might be a parent or a group of people or a group of friends who you can go to when you're having a bad day. Maybe you have anxiety and depression and you just need someone to talk to. Maybe it's a counselor, maybe it's a life coach. Make sure you have some sort of support system that you can go to when things get bad. For me, not only do I have some physical problems, but I also have anxiety and depression. So sometimes my anxiety gets really high, and there are people I will go to. For a while I had a life coach, my husband who I will go to when I'm having a really rough day. I have my mom and my mother-in-law who are always there for me. Anyways, this is the end of my video, but I am so happy that you are here and you're listening to me ramble on about whatever I decide to ramble on with for today. Again, if you want to see more, please hit that subscribe button. I really want to get to know you, and I want to make this community on YouTube. I'm very new to YouTube. I've only been here a couple weeks, and I am loving it. It's so fun for me to express myself, and so I would love to have some support. Please leave me a comment if you are watching this. I want to know a little bit about you. Just tell me about you. If you have a chronic illness, if you're wanting to be a mom, whatever it is you're going through, just leave me a comment and let's get to know each other. I try to respond to every comment that I get, and I just want to make this an uplifting, loving community where we can come together as moms and as chronic illness sufferers, and we can do this together. Anyways, this is kind of long. I am a rambler, by the way, so if you're tuning in, if you've been on my Instagram, you know my posts are super long. I ramble a lot, so sorry about that, but I will see you on the next video, and thank you so much.